Hello everyone, my name is Sanket and we are back again with another video. In this video, we are going to cover the process for applying Super Visa. To keep the video short and make the application process easier for you, we have decided to divide these videos in 4 steps. The first step will be document preparation, where we will discuss what all documents are required to apply for Super Visa. The next step will be filing and submitting online application. So we'll walk you through the application process where we will fill an application online. The third step, which is the next step after you submit your application, is to give your biometrics, which we will cover how you can apply for biometrics and what's the procedure for it. And then last and final step, once you get the visa approved, we will discuss how you can submit your passport for stamping. So without any further ado, let's get started and let's go to the computer screen. As you can see, this is the pathway we have already discussed. Preparing the documents, submitting the online application, how to apply for biometrics, and how we can submit the passport for stamping. Now, before we go and discuss in details about the documents, first let's discuss what's the eligibility criteria. In contrast to the normal visitor visa application, Super Visa, to apply for Super Visa, you have to meet certain eligibility criteria. The first is you should be child or grandchild of the person for whom you are applying. The second criteria is you should be a Canadian citizen or you should be a permanent resident of Canada. You cannot apply for Super Visa if you are on a temporary status in Canada. The third criteria is you should be at least 18 years old and you should be living in Canada. And the fourth and one of the most important criteria is you should meet the low income cutoff. Now, the important question is what is low income cutoff, how it is defined. So we will discuss that next. Just one thing I would like to point out here. The video we are preparing considering me being an applicant who is planning to apply to invite his parents to Canada on Super Visa. So let's look into the low income cutoff. So first you have to meet the low income cutoff criteria based on your family size. Now how we determine the family size? So first you have to consider who all are the members that are living with you in Canada. That is you, your spouse and your kids. So 3 or 4 members in your existing family. And then are you planning to apply for your parents, one of the parents or both the parents? Based on that, your total family size will be determined. So if we consider a family where there is husband, wife and 2 kids and they are planning to invite 2 of their parents, then we are looking at the total family size of 6. As per the update on July 29, the minimum income requirement for a family of 6 is at $72,560. This income you should consider as a family income. It doesn't have to be only for one person. Either you are applying for your parents or for your in-laws. Both husband and wife can be the people who are inviting them, and your combined income before tax should be either $72,560 or higher. Accordingly, whatever is your family size, you can consider what is the suitable income bracket for you. The link for this we have mentioned in the description. So whenever you are applying, make sure that you check what is the current income cutoff criteria. Okay, now we have discussed about the low income cutoff criteria. Let's go and see what are the documents that are required. The documents are not usually the first step that you need to apply, but we are preparing the documents first so that when we fill the online application and reach to the end point, we have all the documents ready. We can easily upload them and submit the application right away. You will not need to go back and forth between the application and then prepare the document and go back. It will streamline the overall application process. So first and most important document is letter of invitation. First we need to include the family member that are already in Canada and what is their current status. Are they citizen of Canada or they are permanent residents of Canada? The second, we should mention about meeting the low income cutoff criteria. Here you can mention that my annual income last year was this and my spouse annual income last year was this, and as total as a family income we exceed the low income cutoff criteria. The next thing you mention, you can actually club the point 3 and 4 where you mention what's the relation of the person you are inviting and what's the purpose of their visit and length of their stay. So this you can include in one paragraph, that I am planning to invite my father, my parents, and then they are going to stay with us for 9 to 12 months to help me do some studies and take care of my kids while we are trying to advance in our careers. So that could be a valid point for that, but based on your scenario, you can include any reason and length of stay. The next thing is you should mention in that letter that you will provide financial support to your parents or grandparents while they are staying with you in Canada. So you can just mention that in one line, and also you can put a point there about that they will not be overstaying their permitted stay duration. They will leave at the end of authorized stay. In case of super visa, if it is approved, you can stay up to 5 years at a time as per the current guideline. And then at the end you can mention the contact information of yourself with your email and contact number, and in case if IRCC needs, they can get in touch with you. Usually they don't. So this is one of the most important document, and we are trying to give as much information as possible. So if the officer goes through the letter of invitations, it's kind of a deciding factor. Okay, everything looks good, I can just go through the other documents quickly and hopefully your application will be approved. The next document we will discuss is proof of income. This is more in line with the expectation that you meet the low income cutoff criteria. How you can prove that? In this, you can use your most recent NOA, you can use most recent T4 or T1. If you don't have T4 or notice of assessment, or currently you switched a job, so last year your job or business was not qualifying for the low income cutoff, but now you are eligible based on your current employment scenario, in that case you can get a original letter, like on the letterhead and the letterhead from employer, stating your job title, job description and salary. So this will show that you are meeting the low income cutoff criteria. In case if you are self-employed, you can get a letter from an accountant confirming your annual income with the proof of other income, if you have any pension income or investment based on your situation. So this applies if you are a self-employed person. The next document is national identity document. Now here it's not necessary to use the passport, but I believe passport is one of the best document that you can use as a national identity document, because it has some criteria. So it should have your proof of status or citizenship. So what is your status in the national identity document that you are using? Like for example, if you are not Canadian citizen yet, you would have a PR card. So if you have something like that, or it should show your status of your citizenship. Then the photo. So it should be a photo identification. It should have your photo on it. It should also mention your name, date of birth, your the document number and the date of issue and expiry. So all these details can be easily found on the passport. So it's recommended to use so I personally feel that it will be easier if you use your passport for national identity document. Now the next required document is passport or travel document, which again you can use passport. Now the difference in this case compared to the national identity document, it needs document number, name, date of birth, country of origin, and any pages, citizenship, residence status, photo and expiry date. The difference here is you have to include any pages that has stamps, visa or markings. So you should include your travel history in this. If you have recently got your passport and your passport previous passport has most of your travel history, you can scan that as well. So at the top you can include your most recent passport, and then following you can show the stamping on the old passport. So this will cover the travel document. So far whatever document we have covered and whatever we have discussed to write on the letter. In case if you have any questions for it, or if you need any help in regards to getting a template, you can reach out to me on this email that is showing on your screen, and I will try to reach you and help you make your documents. The next requirement is the proof of funds. Now when we say that I am inviting my parent or grandparent to Canada, I am going to sponsor them financially. So while we are doing the application, we will select the option that I will be getting financial support from someone during my stay in Canada. And there, to prove that, what are the requirement documents? So we need a bank statement for past 4 months. You can also include a bank balance certificate that you can get from bank, and then with the balance certificate at the top you can include 4 statements for 4 months. You can also include if you have any funds or investments that are available in India or your home country. So that will show that you have sufficient fund that you can support your own family and the parents you are inviting while they are staying in Canada. Also you should include a letter, where we already included that in letter of invitation, but you can make a small paragraph letter here that I will support my parents or grandparents while they are staying with me in Canada, and then following that you can include these statements. So this will prove that you will be supporting them financially. Now in the proof of income or proof of funds, so far whatever we have discussed, we have not included any financial documents or funds for your parents side. It's only what you can support them. Those documents we will include later. The next, and this is one of the easier ones, is the use of representative. So while we are doing the application, we will say that I am applying on behalf of my parents, so I am a family member who is representing them, and we will also grant an access. So in case if you want to raise any query for the application, if the decision is delayed or any other reason, you can use this form. Like when you are submitting, if you have filled up this application form, then you can inquire to IRCC about the status of application. The next document is proof of relationship. Now the proof of relationship is between you and the person you are trying to invite. It could be a marriage certificate, birth certificate, or any official document naming you as a parent. So that means the parent, like it shows for them that your name, your document should name them as a parent. Now one of the complicated scenario is like, for example, if you want to apply for your in-laws. In that case, you can just prepare a small explanation that I am applying on behalf of my, I am applying to invite my in-laws. I have attached following documents: my passport and my spouse passport, where it shows our name in the respective spots where you have to write like husband's or wife's name. And then in my spouse passport, the persons we are inviting are mentioned as her father, and the persons we are inviting are mentioned as a father and mother. So you write this small explanation, and then you can attach your passport copies in the subsequent thing, like make a 4 or 5 page PDF, and that way you can easily explain the relationship. So try to make it easier for the officer to understand what you are trying to convey, rather than they have to put some efforts to find out what really this document is trying to communicate. The next thing, if you are applying for both the parents, you will need to attach a marriage certificate for them, and it has to be in English, or if not, you have to get it translated. If one of your parents is deceased, in that scenario you will not need to attach a marriage certificate. So most of the complicated documents we have covered. Now next, one of the important one is the proof of medical insurance. The most important criteria here is you have to purchase the medical insurance before you apply, and we will need to submit the confirmation of insurance while we are submitting the application. It has to be from an authorized insurance provider. It can be Canadian or non-Canadian, but it should appear on the list of OFSI, which is Office of Superintendent of Financial Institution, and they can issue the policy for insurance business in Canada, and it has to be for $100,000 at least. So this will be a 1-year medical insurance that you will have to take. When you take the insurance, you may need to pay for the first month premium, but the insurance doesn't have to come into effect right away. You can do it post dated. So if you are applying in February, you can say the insurance will come into effect in the month of June. If for some reason their travel plans are changed, they are not able to travel in June, you can postpone it as much as you want. So it will only come into effect when they travel to Canada. And then in case if it happens that they are not going to stay for 1 year, there is always an option to cancel the insurance without any kind of penalty. If in case unfortunately the visa is denied, the insurance people, they already communicate to you in advance that if you provide a proof that their application was rejected, then you can get the full refund. Now other documents are the optional part, but what we can do here, we can try to prepare a letter of explanation to cover, like for factors that are considered by IRCC before determining your making final decision on your application, that you are a genuine visitor to Canada and you will leave by choice at the end of your visit. To do this in the letter of explanation, we can include your ties to your home country, their family, and finances. So if you have any siblings that potentially your parents are going to stay with, or they need to visit in the home country, if you have any business or any investments, your property in India or any in your home country respectively, you can include all these details here to show that not only I am providing them financial support, but in case if required, they are also capable to manage their finances, and these are the funds that are available if needed. That makes your application stronger, and also you are proving the ties to home country. So one of the most important concern that they are going to like leave the country by choice is addressed with providing the letter of explanation. Now this is an optional document, but still it helps to strengthen your application. At the end, these are some tips. Although you don't need to upload the proof of medical, but you need to do the medical for super visa, as your stay is going to be most likely to be more than 6 months. So you can get the medical done upfront. While we will do the application process, it will give us a place where we will have to enter if you have done the medical within last 12 months or not. If you have done it, then you can just use that number. What that will do is that will help minimize the processing time of your application. If you are not doing the medical upfront, you will have to do it upon request by IRCC, and that will delay your application process time, because then you will go schedule the appointment, get the certificate, do a web form and link it to your application. So that may easily consume 15 days. But if you have done the medical upfront, that will save you some time. The only thing that will be required is the biometrics afterwards. To make the letter, invitation letter or any other documents, because you will have to provide NOA, bank statements and everything for yourself and your spouse, you can use any online tools to merge different PDF documents and make one document. Try to make an index that shows that these are the flow of the document. If it is like 40-page document, this you can find on page 4, this you can find on page 6. So that way it's easier for the officer to navigate through your documents. And what you can do is, in your laptop or computer, whatever device you are going to use, whenever you are preparing the document, make one folder for each. Number 1, letter of invitation, number 2, proof of income, and then keep one final document there. So when we are now ready to apply, we can just go into that folder and easily extract the document that we need, and we don't have to go through all set of documents that are not properly organized, and we don't end up uploading the wrong document in the wrong place. So these were some of the tips, and this concludes our step 1 of the super visa videos. With this, the next video we will cover, or we will walk you through how to file the online application and where we upload the documents, and then you just need to pay the application fees and then wait for your biometrics, which will be covered in the subsequent video. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, so that we can keep bringing you more informative videos like this. Thank you very much.